Okay, today is July 20th, 2014. Hope everybody is having a nice weekend and getting ready to resume trading tomorrow. So let's take a look at some of the stock. In this video, we're going to look at different stocks, some from the Dow 30 and some ETF and then some old names. Okay, so the first one is Disney. Is one of the Dow stock. Again, just a little bit of a reminder. It is earnings season, so make sure to go and check the earning date for for the stock before you go and try to make plan on your trading, because depending on your trading plan, that earning date might in a little bit of a conflict with your plan. So again, just go and check your earning on the stock that you're thinking about trading, and check the earning date. Make sure there's no surprise. Okay, so on Disney here, still continue to trend, along this particular trend line here. And you can also see that on Thursday when we had that, reactive sell-off day, that we see that this it put in an engulfing candle, in which that Friday it actually put up a inside bar. So we essentially want to see, can the price break above the high of this engulfing candle, and if it break above that high, then chances are Disney probably will come up and maybe tag the previous high, or put in a new high here. And if it break below this particular pivot engulfing candle low, then we want to make sure that it could hold above this trend line. If it's not, if it break that trend line, then we'll probably be looking at some level down here, for potential support here. Okay, so just have to keep in mind on these two pivot level here on that engulfing candle from last Thursday. Okay. Then the other one is Coke. Coke, ever since it broke this level here, it's kind of made its way up on a new high and kind of seems to be consolidating up here right now. So it broke here and then now it seems to be consolidating. So soon as it finishes consolidation, the chance it probably will move higher. And then the other one is 3M. Again, these are the Dow component stock. It seems to be also be consolidating, kind of peek its head above that that baseline here, and then pull back on last Thursday. Again, we see there is a engulfing candle here, in which that Friday is an inside bar. So I want to see, can it take out this high here, right? And if we could take out this high, then chances are it will break out of this trading band, this consolidation band here, and move to a new high. If it break below this low here, we want to make sure that it could hold this supporting trend line. If it's not, then chances are we'll probably be seeing something coming back down to this 140, 139 level. Okay. Then the other one is Traveler. It's an insurance company. Again, that's part of the Dow 30 component. And it too has been kind of consolidating within this trading band, and we're basically waiting for it to break above this baseline here and put in a new high. But if it does pull back, then we want to make sure that it does hold this this particular support line. Once again, put in an inside bar on Friday, so you see this low engulfing candle. Look at it, pay attention to those pivot high low. Okay. And finally, the last of the Dow stock we're going to talk about in this video is Exxon. And it too, Exxon been kind of hovering around this trend line here. And once again, we're essentially, looking forward to possibly, break about this baseline here and get to test this high and possibly put in a new high. Okay. And on the ETF, if people believe that the economy is getting better and things actually look better than it is, then on this right here, the material ETF on the material seems to be kind of give us a little clue, because it's also been rising on this trend line, and again it seems to be basing here. So if it could break out and get up to make a new high, then certainly it's kind of reinforce that that thesis that things are getting better, and material is in high demand and that sort of thing for the economy to start get going again. And then also on the consumer side, this stable, consumer stable, again you can see that it is holding up on this little trend line here, and it seems to be bouncing off of this little support area. So if it could continue and take out this little bit of a doji, because over here this seems to be like a evening star type of a pattern here, right? But again, this this could be invalidated if the price get above this particular close, so get above that pivot and make itself up back up here to test the previous high. So right now it's still holding this support here, so keep an eye on the support trend line. If it breaks, then the chances are it probably will come down and test these level, and then eventually maybe get down to this 43.50 area. But right now it seems like it will try to get back up, and take out this pivot and maybe retest the previous high. Then the other one is the consumer discretionary. Okay, so this one here also been kind of testing out this baseline here, kind of peeked through here and then kind of pull back. So it's kind of testing this baseline. And on Friday, got this inside bar. Once again, look for this pivot high low on this engulfing candle for direction, for clues or on the direction that it might take. So if we break above this high, then look for it to try to break this trend line here and possibly put in a new high, because you could also look at this as a little flag, right? And then you could have this as a flagpole. Then you could do a little bit of a major move there. Okay. Then the metal mining company, this is not the gold mining, so it's more of a industrial metal or things like that, I believe. So again, it seems to be hovering in this trading band, this big trading band here, and we see that it's sort of holding up this low near-term support here. Although one could say that it could be forming a head and shoulder, and it might be breaking this baseline, and it could be heading back down here. That's a possibility, but if if break above this particular pivot, then chances are maybe it's trying to work back up to this baseline, and maybe this time it might try to break through it and put in a new high. Okay. Then on the home fund, the home improvement, that's Lowe's, and Lowe's been also trying to come back up and to this particular baseline here, trying to break through and maybe get back to some of the previous pivot high. So kind of keep an eye on that. It seems to be bouncing off of this particular support here, right? These trend line here. So if it could get above here and break through, and chances are maybe we see it to possibly get back up to these level, for to a little bit higher level, and who knows, it might even come up and put in a new 52-week high. Then there's a pharmaceutical company. So looking at this, it seems to be also trying to make up to this trading band here and try to get to break above these pivot level here. Okay. Although it pulled back, but you notice that it held above these low, and right now it's kind of making a higher low. And if it could break through this level there, then we'll probably watch it to see could it take back up this baseline and work itself up and possibly get back to this 120, and might be a little bit too premature to talk about the possibility of coming back up to this 155. But at least we could watch and see can it get back up to this level somewhere around the 103, 104 area. And the TI here, it is due for earning report tomorrow, but it's been holding up, and the semiconductor been fairly strong. So you might want to keep an eye on this. And if we could get back up to this baseline here, then chances are it probably had a little bit more room to run, because you could also see that maybe a little bit of a cup and handle or something like that. But again, it's been holding up this trend line, so keep an eye on that. If it pull back, we want to make sure that it could find support on that trend line. If it's not, then we're basically looking for it to come down and test these pivot low. Okay. And the other one, some of the old name, JDS Uniphase. Okay, so I see that it's trying to basically come up and fill this gap and then kind of pull back. And right now it's kind of been holding on and try to consolidate. So if it can work itself back up to this baseline, then we might see this thing might be able to get back up to this peak here, at least to this level here. Okay, so you might want to keep an eye on this one. And then the other one is the network appliance. So these are all networking, infrastructure type of play. Okay, So you can see that it's also holding up on this trend line here. Again, we're basically looking forward to big, break out of this base here. Okay, and if we could do that, then might encounter some resistance here. There's a little gap here, so we're probably targeting this guy to come up and fill this gap. Okay. Then finally, Starwood is the hotel company here, and again, you're going to see that it's been holding up at the support trend line here. Got a little bounce. It too also put in an inside bar last Friday. Got this engulfing candle on Thursday, so look for these pivot high low, and it's holding about this level here. So on this break, and you could see, you could make a case this is a inverted head and shoulder. Then you could do your low measure move. Okay, those are the stock that might be of interest for next week. Just give you some new idea instead of going back and forth on those old Momo stock. Because there are some earning coming out next week, and I put up a video, previous video on some of the high beta tech stock coming out for earning next week, such as Netflix, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. So you might want to check out that video if you haven't viewed that video yet. So good luck on your trading next week.